All right, school's wrapping up this year, whether you've got a freshman, a sophomore, junior, a senior. I want to talk about college. And the reason I'm bringing up college is because that commencement speaker over the weekend, Robert Smith at Morehouse College, a college for all men, saying class 2019 was his class. He was going to pay off all student debt for that class. That's some 400 students to the tune of $40 million. Okay, now he's a billionaire. He can afford to do this. He's worth $5 billion. But it made me start thinking about, there's a kid from Sugar Land who got the benefit of this good deed, and one from Beaumont. And the one from Beaumont said, I could hear my mom and dad cry. And I thought, that's amazing for everyone watching. What about the students graduating in 2020, the students that graduated in 2018 who are still saddled with student loans? Now, student loans, it's a sore subject in my family. When my kids were little, of course, all parents think their kids are going to go off to college. I have 5 children. So then Bobby and all my boys actually played hockey, and my daughter was the brainiac. So here's the way it worked out. My husband assumed that the boys would get athletic scholarships to college. Bobby, our first to go to college, didn't get an athletic scholarship. He got on the hockey team at a school in Connecticut, but got an academic scholarship that paid only so much. So here was the deal. In order for Bobby to go, he'd have to take out $80,000 in student loans. And of course you want your kid to go to college. I mean, he got in, he's going to play hockey. And I said, no. And now today, my son is so thankful that I did not make the decision to burden him with $80,000, unless I was going to pay it off, and I wasn't going to pay it off. My husband said, do it. He needs to get his skin in the game. And I said, no, there is no way I'm going to start out a 20-year-old's life with all that student debt. Now, my daughter, so he didn't. Bobby ended up going 2 years, and he's super successful in real estate business now because I think he's got that fire under his butt because he doesn't have the degree. He's like, well, I can't rely on that, so I'm going to have to rely on me. And then my daughter, who is the brainiac, she got an academic scholarship to a college that she didn't want to go to. And you know what I said to that? Too bad you're going. And she did. And she did super well. So I think as parents, we've got to help guide our kids. A college degree is not going to ensure that they're going to get out of college and get into a $100,000 a year job. Sometimes it's hard to get a job. If they're burdened with that student loan debt, that is such a game changer. It causes depression. They can't be doing the things that they love because they're taking several jobs. And trust me, I've got family members who are saddled with, one of them has a $100,000 student debt. Now, she's married now. And what they had to do with their finances. And I swear, God bless the guy for marrying. Can you imagine marrying $100,000 debt? And he loves her so much, but they've had to adjust their jobs. So a portion of their proceeds, now that the loans are coming due, they have to really be diligent in paying that off. And man, you really have to love someone to marry into a $100,000 debt. There are other options. There are 2-year colleges. There are trade schools. There are so many other options. Really consider what that debt, and then you wonder, well, why is college has gone up so much? Because the government, the student loans, keeps paying the kids to go to college. So the kids keep going to college because they believe that they have to. It's the only way you're going to succeed, which is not true. And the government keeps doing those student loans. So the prices go up. You got to get the government out of colleges. You've got to realize that there are so many other options for your kids. I would love to hear your thinking on taking on student debt for your kids. If that's what you're going to choose to do, let me know why. How do you plan on paying it off? And really, did you actually engage your student in the conversation to say, all right, now once you graduate and that student loan comes due, this is how much you're going to have to pay every month for 10 years. Have that discussion with your student and see what they say. And get back to us. Let us know. You can comment all the time. We love to hear from you. And thanks so much for considering other options than college.